Hi, this is Diane Mahinda with the Curriculum Revitalization Project, a project funded by the Illinois State Board of Education. You are watching iPad Basics Part 2, Default Apps.
Before you can even consider using iPads in the classroom, you need to have some basic setup information. First of all, you do need to have Wi-Fi connections. Wi-Fi connection is vital because most schools would rather not pay for the 3G connection for each iPad. So Wi-Fi within the school is important, and enough connections to be connected all at once is vital. You also need an iTunes account. Now the school will probably do the management of the apps and the iTunes account by setting up the iTunes account and purchasing apps. One thing that some schools do, though, so that the teachers can have some discretion as to what apps they would use in their own classroom. Some schools purchase the iTunes gift cards for the teachers, and then they can add apps specifically for their own room. Another consideration would be for your school is if your school is going to purchase a number of iPads, they possibly can get some volume vouchers to purchase apps at a cheaper price. Same apps that would normally cost, let's say $10, might be $5. That's something that your school administrators can explore to see if they can get a better price for the iPad itself, but also vouchers for purchase of apps. On the screen is your basic default apps that come with your iPad. You'll notice that we have the Messages app, the Calendar, Contacts, Reminders, Camera, the FaceTime, Music, iTunes, Notes, Maps, the Photo Booth, YouTube, Settings, Safari, and Apps Store. Then you notice down in the docking area we have Photos and Mail. This happens to be my iPad, so because I have the settings set up for Mail for 2 different email addresses, you're going to see a lot of emails in there. It also has 2 notes on the calendar because I have my calendar set up to sync with my iPad too, so that it gives me calendar messages and reminders. Over here on the App Store, you'll see a little 1. That means when you get a little 1 or any number on there, that some of your apps need to be updated. And I'll show you some of those features in a little bit. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about the message. The messages, if you tap the icon, what you can do then is send messages from iPad to iPad, or iPad to iPhone, or iPhone to iPod Touch, or any of the combination. With the latest operating system, the operating system 5 allows you to send text messages among devices like that. Again, I told you about the calendar, but before you really understand what the calendar and the mail can do for you, you probably need to go to the settings icon. So we're going to look at the settings icon first here. That's the one that looks like a wheel cog. We're going to tap that icon and take a look at what comes up. General is the general setting here where it talks about your iPad, the software updates to see whether or not you have any or not, the usage, sounds, network, and Bluetooth. I want you to look at Bluetooth because in part 1 I spoke to you about a Bluetooth keyboard. In order for the keyboard to work, you have to turn on Bluetooth in your settings section. Also, if you want to, you can change the auto lock. The auto lock means that your iPad will go to sleep after 2 or 3 or 4 minutes. I don't like it to go to sleep that often. Sorry, cancel that. So I've set it up to 15 minutes. I don't set it to never because it does run down your battery if you just leave it unattended. Then also, you can set a passcode for your iPad. I do have a passcode set in there, but if you don't want to, then just turn it off by clicking on there. iPad cover or lock is turned on. That means if you have one of these magnetic covers, it will lock your iPad up or unlock it when you pull it off. One of the first things that you want to set up is your Wi-Fi. So when you tap the Wi-Fi setting, make sure that the on button is tapped so that you will get the choices of the wireless networks that are available wherever you are. As you may or may not know, that if you do not have Wi-Fi, many of your apps will not work. Those are called dynamic apps, and they do need internet in order to work. The static apps, like your calculators, can work without the internet. So unless you have a 3G program with Apple, you will need wireless internet. And this is where you would set it up. Okay, the next thing I'd like to show you is the mail, contacts, and calendars. Here's where you can set up your iCloud account that comes in with your latest operating system 5. Also, you can set up your email accounts. I have 2 that have been established here. I could have more by clicking on the Add Account. And you choose whichever one it is. Let's say it's the Yahoo account. And then just putting in my name and the address, password, and so forth. And then that email would also come into my iPad. You can see that you have the chance, if you have a Twitter account, you can set up for Twitter. FaceTime is also very good in that you can do something similar to Skype, where you are talking face-to-face to other Apple users, especially with the iPads, the iPhones, and the iPod Touch. And for the most part, that is all we're going to take a look at in the settings. So let me press the panic button or the home button and get back to the home page. I'd like for you to notice that the bottom line here, I like to call it the status bar. Some people call it the dock. But on my status bar, I only have 2 apps there. One is the photos and one is my mail. I really prefer to have the internet browser down there, as well as the App Store icons. To move icons around, all you have to do is tap, not actually tap, but hold until the apps start jiggling. Then you can move them to the location that you want. Okay? I think I'll just leave those. Now, in order to get out of that, what do you think I need to do? That's right, press the panic button or the home button. And that takes me to a standstill situation. These are the default apps that come with your iPad. Let's take a look at the camera. The camera app is pretty neat in that you can ask your students to record each other as they're doing projects and then create a video history of some activity that they have been assigned by using the iPad. So you can take still pictures, and you do that just simply by clicking the bottom little camera icon there at the bottom, and then that picture will go into your photo roll. Or you can switch the camera by clicking on the little icon in the upper right hand corner to switch to the outside view. Again, you can just click the little camera to take a snap of it, or you see the little slider in the bottom right hand corner is where you can also take video. And so once that has been slid to the video camera, just press the red button and you are recording. Press the red button to stop the recording. And then those pictures and videos go to your photos. So let's take a look at the photos. Pressing the home button, let's go to the photos, which I have put into my status bar down here. So tapping the photos, I get all kinds of them. I get lots and lots of photos. The last ones will appear at the very end. So if I click this and then use a slide, I can slide across the ones that I have just taken. Press the arrow and that's the movie. Let's say I wanted to email this picture to someone else. I would tap the picture and notice that there is the option up here, this backward arrow. And once I tap that arrow, I can email it or send it as a message, assign it to a contact, use it as wallpaper, tweet it, print it, and copy the photo. I could also delete it if I wanted to by putting it into the trash can. So this is a fun activity that you can do with your students. You can have them take pictures of each other or video various activities that you have assigned, and then show those on the overhead. Another thing that I'd like for you to see is the browser. The Safari is the browser that we'll be using, and the very first thing that you see here is that I have many windows that are open, and they will stay open until I close them manually. Okay, but the cool thing about this is the keyboard pops up whenever you have any kind of desire to type something. For example, I now want to go to the CR Project's website. It is ilcte.org. And since I have been there before, it remembers that. So I can just tap the suggestion, and here is that website. But the other thing that you can do is that you can take a look at the little book. The little book shows my reading list, my history, my bookmarks, and all the way at the bottom of that list is the iPad user guide. This you're going to find on every iPad. So let's say after you've finished this video and you're wondering, what on earth am I going to do? I can't remember how all of these things work. This little iPad guide will walk you through each and every one of those things. Okay? If you want to close a window, there's a little X here, and that's how you do that. If I go to a website, let's say I'm going to now mycart.com, and this is this Curriculum Revitalization's other website, and I go here and I want to bookmark that, then I would click the right arrow to add that to my bookmark list, add it to the reading list or whatever. Okay? So that's how you use Safari as your web browser. Thank you for watching. This is Diane Mahinda with the Curriculum Revitalization Project, a project funded by the Illinois State Board of Education. If you have questions, feel free to contact me at dmahinda@cwd.siu.edu.